I almost forgot about this. Thank God for Outlook.
Oh, wow. John, did you get my email about Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Mr. Christensen, that was the part that confused me. Isn't Mr. Christensen competent to help him with that?
He's going to try. They're both limited. Mr. Christensen has physical disabilities, so he has a hard time with that, but they are logged on. If you want to go ahead and start with them.
Okay, well, let me make sure. Where's Killian?
Not in yet.
Okay, well, let me make sure that I've gotten all the pleadings to Killian into the court because we're ready to resolve this one.
I did find him a bed at a VA in Walla Walla, but they couldn't find his information in their system. So he wasn't able to go there.
I didn't find Robert, but I have talked to some people that have seen him in town the last few days.
Okay.
So he's around.
He's around.
But I haven't seen him.
Laying low for court day.
Apparently.
Okay. Also, Mr. Quittner and Mr. Bates, or Judge Bates, the chief just went looking for Robert Peterson, was not able to find him.
Okay.
Hopefully Killian's gonna show.
Mr. Quintner, while we were talking about Mr. Peterson, have you had any communication with him?
Not since the last time we discussed him in court, I don't think.
Okay. Madam Clerk, what about this Malia Stewart? Is she logged in again? And do we know if she'll be logged in successfully this time?
I have not heard anything from her. She is not currently logged in.
Okay.
The only one I have in the waiting room right now is Mr. Smith. So.
Okay. And Madam Clerk, I didn't see Mr. Peterson on the docket that I received for today.
No, we left it open because we weren't sure we were going to be able to find him, but we issued warrants last time.
That's right. Okay.
So
got it.
If they do come across him, they can pick him up on the warrant and detain him.
Sure.
But they don't want to do that if it's not a court day. So.
Understood. Well, should one of us call Mr. Duncanson?
Just shot him a message. See if he responds.
Mr. Quintner, do you have the Smith case resolved, or is that just coming on for pretrial to see if he's here?
There he is.
It's resolved.
I'm here. I got stuck in traffic trying to get back to my office, so I'm on my phone.
Okay. As far as the docket, I'm hearing, Mr. Duncanson, we do have Steve Smith in the waiting room, so I think we can go ahead and bring him in.
Perfect. Sounds good. I just got the email from Mr. Quitner, so.
Okay. Is Steve Smith present? We brought in a number ending in 1107 into our virtual court.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Smith. I'm Judge Chris Bates, filling in as a pro tem judge today. We have your attorney, Jonathan Quintner, here, along with the prosecuting attorney, Killian Duncanson. And I understand. Okay, I understand the parties may have this matter resolved, so I will let your attorney speak on your behalf, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So this is pretrial on a charge of disorderly conduct, public intoxication. We've worked out a resolution with the city's attorney, which would amount to a $150 fine, all jail time suspended, and I've been over all the attendant rights that Mr. Smith will be waiving as a result of entering a plea, including immigration concerns. He understands that he's giving up his right to a speedy and public trial in a forum where he's been accused, that he is waiving his right to testify himself as well as to call other witnesses and to confront those who accuse him. He's giving up his right to be presumed innocent, and he's waiving most of his rights to appeal. He understands that the court is not bound by agreement that we may make with the prosecutor, and we are ready to proceed, Your Honor. Oh, and I believe that he is doing all of these things knowingly and willingly.
Okay. Mr. Smith, is all that correct? You've gone over this agreement with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
You understand all the rights that you will give up upon entering a plea of guilty today?
Yes, sir.
And you understand, even though you have an agreement with the city attorney, that I don't have to follow that agreement, and I can sentence you up to the maximum of 90 days and impose a maximum of a fine that would come potentially to $1,000?
Okay.
Okay. Well, I find that the defendant has gone over this with his attorney. He's prepared to enter a plea today. And Mr. Smith, how do you plead to the charge of disorderly conduct, public intoxication? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And is that a free and voluntary plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Quintner, can you give me a brief statement of the facts upon which the plea is made?
Yes, I don't have the dates in front of me, Your Honor, but actually, I think I may. What I'm recalling is that it was the 20th day of September 2021, on or about that day, Mr. Smith possessed an open alcohol container in a public place in South Bend, Washington, and consumed from that container.
Okay. Mr. Smith, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty today. I find that you've made a knowing and intelligent decision. As far as your sentence, does the city have anything to say regarding sentencing?
No, this is an agreed recommendation.
Okay. And Mr. Smith, you have a right to make a statement before I sentence you. Is there anything you would like to say?
No, sir.
All right. Well, I find that this is a fair and reasonable resolution. I'm going to follow the parties' agreement, impose a fine totaling in the amount of $150. I will suspend all jail time. I will set court probation for a 12-month period. During that time, you're to pay your fine. If you need to get on a payment plan, you can contact the court clerk to do so. And you're to have no alcohol violations, whether they are criminal or infractions. Do you understand that, Mr. Smith?
Yeah,
Okay. Once I've signed the plea form, I can circulate that for the signatures of the parties. And again, Mr. Smith, please contact the court clerk if you need to set up a payment plan with the court.
Okay.
All right. That concludes your case today, Mr. Smith. You are free to log off our virtual courtroom.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Take care of yourself.
All right, we have
Huh?
you can hang up now, Mr. Smith. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Here, I don't know how to turn it on, baby. Oh, that was easy. Huh?
All right. The other matters I have on, I'm counting 4 matters. 2 are pretrials, 2 are arraignments for a defendant by the name of Malia Stewart. Is Malia Stewart present today on Zoom?
No, she is not.
Okay. I think at this point the court has lost patience with Miss Stewart, and the court will issue bench warrants in each case in the amount of $300. And once I receive those warrants, I will sign them. So, you're not appointed, Mr. Quintner. Madam Clerk, if Ms. Stewart reaches out to you prior to my signing of those warrants, you have my permission not to enter those and to reset her on another pretrial docket.
Okay.
And I believe that is it, unless I'm unaware of something.
Nope, that's it for you.
Okay. Well, everyone, have a good Christmas and New Year, and see your bright and shining faces come January.
Thank you, Mr. Bates. Merry Christmas and everything.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, we have Preston Lawhead in the waiting room. He's on for arraignment. He was a late ad.
All right, go ahead and bring in Mr. Lawhead then. Mr. Lawhead, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
Great.
can.
Okay. All right. My name is Will Penoyer. I'm the judge for the City of South Bend Municipal Court, and we are on the record today for Preston Lawhead, case number C21-6853 and I21-27529. Mr. Lawhead, this is your first appearance in arraignment today. So I'm
Yes.
just going to go through your rights and talk to you about whether or not you need to get an attorney appointed and set release conditions, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Great. Okay. So, Mr. Lawhead, you have been charged with driving under the influence and driving with wheels off roadway. The former of which is a criminal charge, the latter of which is a infraction and non-criminal charge. This was alleged to have taken place on December 18th, 2021. Basically, the maximum penalty you could face in this case is $5,000 fine and 364 days in jail. That is the maximum, not necessarily what you're actually going to get. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything about this offense to me or anybody else in this case, except to your attorney. You don't have to you also can remain silent at trial, and that cannot be used against you by the jury or by the court. You have the right to have an attorney defend you in this case, and if you cannot afford one, can be appointed for you by this court. You have the right to a speedy trial since you're not in custody. That means you have a right to trial within 90 days of today. You have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury with a presumption of innocence, and the judge will tell the jury that you are to be presumed innocent until your guilt has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to call witnesses to testify for you or on your behalf. That can be done at no expense to you by the court staff. You can choose to testify or remain silent, and that is not to be used against you. If you're found guilty at trial, you have the right to appeal that finding of guilt to the next level of court. If you plead guilty, you waive most of your appeal rights. So looking at this here, it looks like this is your first, at least in Washington State, charge of driving under the influence. Mr. Lawhead, do you want the court to appoint an attorney for you, or are you going to hire an attorney?
Could you appoint one for me, please?
Okay, I have to determine that you actually are financially eligible for that. So what is your monthly income?
I work on a crab boat, so it varies, but this month I'm going to make like $30,000, I believe.
Okay. Normally that would not make you qualified, but I mean, you say you make $30,000 in a month. I mean, how many months do you have like that in a year?
4.
4?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think you qualify for a public defender. Your income's a little too high.
Okay.
I guess I shouldn't even say it's not a little too high. It's quite a bit above the, I mean, if you're telling me that your income is at least $120,000 a year.
Oh no, it'll be like 70 about.
Did you just say 30,000 4 times?
Well, that's what it was like last year. But this year, my percentage on the boat went up. And so it should be about 70.
Okay, that's still high though, unless you have, are you just supporting yourself or are you supporting anybody else?
Well, I live in a house with my whole family of like 6 people, and I'm the only one with a job right now. So I'm kind of just helping out there and whatnot, but that's about it. I don't have no rent or anything. I live with my mom. And that's
well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to tentatively appoint you an attorney. You may have to contribute a little bit towards those costs of the court public defender, but I'm going to appoint you an attorney since it sounds like you have a fair number of people you are supporting with your income. So I'll appoint Jonathan Quitton to represent you. And would you like me to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. It's your choice. You can wait until the next hearing to enter a plea, but certainly entering a plea of not guilty is not going to cause any harm to you, most likely in this case. So
Since I have been appointed already, Your Honor, I am going to go ahead and ask that the court enter a plea of not guilty.
okay, then the court shall do that. So the other issue here, Mr. Lawhead, I did review the police reports and I find that there is probable cause in this case to go forward. That does not mean that I'm finding you guilty. It just simply means that there's enough in the police report to support the underlying charges, assuming all of that is true. Okay.
All right.
So that being the case, I do have to set some release conditions for you because it's a driving under the influence charge.
All right.
The charge conditions here for the charge will be no, you're not to go to any bars, taverns, or lounges, not drink intoxicating liquors. You need to contact your attorney at least once a week, and you'll need to be back here in court on the Zoom on January 10th, which is our next court date.
Okay. How do I get a hold of an attorney? How do I do that?
we mail you his information, but I'll give you his number now too, if you'd like.
I don't have a pen or anything on me. I'm
Okay, well, what's your mailing address?
3364 Georgetown Street, Oakland, Washington, 98590.
Is that what you have, Madam Clerk?
Huh?
I'm asking the clerk something,
Oh, sorry.
just confirming.
That is, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm just let me
That's
look.
what's
here
on,
at my
yeah.
Oh,
notes.
I have a PO box in South Bend.
So do you get your mail in a PO box or do you get it in Tokeland?
I get it in Tokeland. We used to live in South Bend a couple years ago.
Okay, so it's 3364 Georgetown Street, Tokeland, 98556.
98590.
Oh, okay, just written in wrong here on the police report, maybe. Okay, all right. So you will get the attorney's information in the mail, his contact information, along with a copy of the order setting your release conditions.
All
Do you
right.
have any questions for me?
I just have to show up here again on the 22nd, you said?
The
right?
10th of January.
The 10th. Sorry about that.
But all right, you'll get notice of that as well.
Okay.
So you'll have a chance to talk to your attorney before that, and he'll be able to answer more of your questions than I can, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, we will see you on the 10th of January, and have a good holiday.
All right, thank you, you too. Can I leave this or?
Yeah, just set it down.
We'll close you out.
Okay, perfect.
We addressed the release conditions, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Duncanson, I should have asked you if you had anything else to add, but I just did no bars, taverns, or lounges, don't drink intoxicating liquors,
Perfect.
because there's no, he didn't appear to have any priors, so there wouldn't have been any of the other obvious things to put on. Yeah, I apologize for not asking you, though.
We have nobody else in the waiting room.
Oh, well, that was quick.
Yeah.
We did have, it looks like we had an agreed order.
Yes, and we have an issue.
Yeah, there should be a contested hearing with an agreed order.
Yeah, that was, so I'll just put that on the record. City versus Simonis Vastakis. That is I-21-27510, speeding ticket. I have an agreed order before me wherein the parties have agreed to amend this to no seatbelt, fine of $139. I find that that is a reasonable resolution and fair in this case, so I will sign off. Okay, Madam Clerk, is there any other people around, or is that it?
We need to talk about Babette Shine's no contact order.
Oh, okay.
My
We need-
motion is before the court to vacate this is a case that's been closed out, and she is in drug court in Grays Harbor County. Actually, I'm sorry, it's not closed out. It was a stipulated order of continuance, it's still in effect. However, the ongoing pretrial no contact order in her case has caused her problems in her drug court in Grays Harbor County. You having a hard time hearing me?
I am. I'll turn up my volume a little and see if that helps.
Everybody else hear me okay?
Again,
So she's had some trouble because that restraining order, pretrial no contact order against her mom, which I think we understood in this court to be vacated. It's not explicitly vacated anyway, so I've moved to vacate that no contact order, and Mr. Duncanson has agreed to support the motion.
I haven't seen a motion.
Lisa, you didn't receive the motion I sent?
I didn't receive any kind of motion. Unless I'm overlooking something. I mean, I'll look in my email here.
Yeah, I sent my motion to Lisa, but I can send it directly to Your Honor.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so.
Okay. There it
I
is.
sent it to you on December 14th.
Okay. it's entirely possible I missed it too, of course. I'm not making accusations. I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this.
I also just resent it to everybody as along with.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
an
there it
order
is.
that
Not sure how I missed that. Okay. My apologies to everyone. All right, just give me 2 seconds to review this, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused. You're saying that I orally agreed to dismiss this no contact order back in April?
You did.
Yeah.
Huh?
I went back and listened to the recording and you
Oh,
did.
okay. Well, if you confirm that I did that, then I certainly,
It was after Mr. Dickinson spoke with the victim and was comfortable that the victim was okay with it.
okay. Let's just make sure in the future we reduce those things to order at the time so that we don't have, confusion in the future. I'm not, pointing fingers. I'm just saying I can't remember everything I did, obviously, in court. So I appreciate that.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And thank you, Mr. Quittner, for bringing this to my attention. So I will be happy to sign off. Is there an order attached to that motion or?
I sent an agreed order to Mr. Duncan. He should have signed it and forwarded it. Kelly?
The one that Killian sent had 2 different attachments.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
perfect.
re-forwarded the motion to everybody just so.
So I should have an agreed order from, okay, there we go. Oh, it was sent just a minute ago. Okay, so there's the motion, there's the order. All right. If Madam Clerk says that that is what I said and she checked that, I trust her to be telling the truth on that, of course. So I am happy to sign that order. I'm just waiting for it to open here on my computer and make sure there's nothing that I'm missing.
If it's possible, could I come pick that up today?
Sure, or I can have it brought over there, whatever's easier for you.
Okay, Ms. Shine is trying to get a release to see her mother for Christmas. So I want to get that to her.
course.
We're closed on Friday, so that doesn't give me a lot of time to get it to her and her to get it to Grace Harbor before Christmas. So
Of course. Well, I will, I'll sign it right now. And then you would prefer to just come by and get it?
yeah, I'll swing by and grab it and we'll get it off to Ms. Shine so that she can get it to Grace Harbor and hopefully see her mom.
Okay, I appreciate everybody bringing this to my attention. And I am so signing. All right, any other matters to take up?
Well, we had another arraignment for an Alexander Love Ruby.
Okay,
Is driving unsuspended, but that person has not appeared.
all right. Given the COVID rules and given that it is a DWLS 3, let's just send him notice for arraignment for the 10th. I may change my perspective on this next time, but give him one shot.
All right, that's it.
Okay, I will have both those 2 orders ready for you, Madam Clerk, at the front desk.
Okay,
And to everybody, I hope you have an awesome holiday. Mr. Quittner, whatever it is people like you do people like yourself do on Christmas Day.
People like your mother.
And to like my mother as well, and like all interesting people, we always do something on Christmas Day. So I hope you all have a great holiday.
All right.
Merry
you too.
Christmas.
Take
Merry
care.
Christmas. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one.